The voice of sharing Durian ASEAN.
Hi, welcome back again. We are in our next slot, which is Blast from the Grassroots. We have two young activists here from Sekolah, Aktivisme. Maybe you can introduce yourself briefly.
Hi, I'm Daniella. I'm a lawyer. I also volunteer in the Malaysian Center for Constitutionalism and Human Rights.
And you?
My name is Sheelaa, and I am a lawyer as well. And yeah, I've been involved with Sekolah Aktivisme since the beginning, since last year.
The beginning.
August was it when we started?
So we have two young lawyers here doing non-lawyer stuff, I guess.
Not entirely lawyerly.
So the background of this today's discussion is about anti-gerrymandering, but we want to go beyond that, also to talk about youth activism, and you guys being young and impressionable and want to change the world. I'm sure there's a lot of things that you can share.
Oh, we're not very young, we're not very impressionable, but we have our ideals.
Yeah. So we a couple of weeks. A few weeks ago, we discussed mainly on the anti-gerrymandering.
Yeah.
But now you are doing it on the field, and you actually had this Puchong Turun Padang project. Just explain more about this. What is it?
The Puchong Turun Padang project is part of our Satu Rakyat Satu Undi Satu Nilai campaign. So the One Run campaign, we call it the One Run campaign. The One Run campaign is based mostly on social media. But of course, when you do it on social media, there's no hands-on approach. So that is the aim of the Puchong Turun Padang project. We decided to go into a specific constituency. Yeah, to approach the people and sort of to raise awareness and tell them, this is what gerrymandering is about, and this is what you can do about, if you are unhappy with the delineation proposal by EC, which will be tabled soon, I guess.
Yeah. So why Puchong?
Well, okay, of course we did our research, and Puchong is one of those constituencies that if you look back from the past delineation exercises, it's one of those constituencies that went through a whole lot of delineation process. It is re-delineated again and again and again every time a delineation exercise takes place.
Wow.
The constituency is created, it's made into a state seat, it became a parliament seat, then it became a state seat again.
That's crazy for the people of Puchong. It's like, this year I'm voting as a Puchong candidate.
Yes,
voter.
so
maybe after the redelineation, I will be like maybe the next doors.
Yes. So that's one of the reasons why we chose Puchong. Also, for practical purposes, we're all based here. We don't want to, be overly ambitious and say we'll target a constituency sometime in somewhere in Perlis or something. So yes, it's definitely more practical for us to be hands-on, nearer to us.
So share with us about your experience since going for the Turun Padang project, the Puchong Turun Padang project.
We have not done it yet.
Yeah.
It's actually scheduled on the 26th of April. But we did a reconnaissance, or whatever you call it, exercise yesterday. We did a recce. So we went to Puchong and we were trying to get permission from, we are targeting certain malls because this is where the people will be. And we studied, where the people are
mostly concentrated.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where are they?
Near the restaurants.
Oh, of course, because the thing is, we can't, go house to house. Again, we don't have an army of people working with us. So going to a mall where on a weekend we're targeting the most number of people that we can get, practically speaking. So, yeah.
So how cooperative the people are when you approach them? Are they just shy and, don't want to talk to you guys?
Of course, it's, it's very normal when you go to a shopping mall and all that, and you have other things to do. And you try to approach people. Hey, did you vote in the G13? Or like, oh, have you heard of gerrymandering? People are gonna be like, huh?
I'm here to shop. Please leave me alone.
Exactly. So you have to be a bit more.
Your approach has to be right.
Yeah.
I mean,
So what is your strategy like, or what kind of strategy that you will be put in place?
We have a booklet. We did a comic booklet, which is available online at our website, sekolahaktivisme.org. And this booklet it's very simple. It has a very simple explanation of what gerrymandering is. So we use illustrations and all that. So we hope to
hand it out
to the people while talking to them. Obviously,
I see. I'm just wondering, like, how politically aware Malaysians are, or at least people in Puchong, as what you experience with your Raki.
A lot of people, they have an opinion. I mean, not necessarily in Puchong only, just generally Malaysians, especially perhaps the younger generation. Everyone has an opinion, but how far your opinion is correct, or whether you're just joining the bandwagon to say one side is wrong, and not knowing why they're wrong is actually quite popular. Even among my friends, I have people who just feel like, oh, okay, our government, everything is wrong, but why, they don't know. So our aim here is to tell them that, look, things are happening. You should be aware. You should have your facts in hand before you conclude. And if you're not happy, then things can change. You have to know what you can do about it.
So I guess when it comes to Malaysians, I guess it's a huge task for you guys, because I bet not many Malaysians really care about their politics, or do they?
I think people do. People do care about politics. People do care about what's happening to them, because it directly affects them, you see. It's just that, like what Sheelaa said, a lot of people complain, but they don't really know what they're talking about.
They don't know what to do as well, right?
Yeah. Yes. Or like you talk, but you don't do anything about it. So, what's the point in that? So that's what we're trying to change lah.
Yeah,
so how long the project will be, and how big the extent it will be as well?
This project, obviously, since we're targeting gerrymandering, it will probably come to an end when the EC tables or their recommendations at the parliament. How far the project will go? Well, like I said, our group is very, very small.
How many of them?
I think we have about 20 of us in the team. So to say that our outreach will be amazing, that's we're relying a lot on social media itself. We had a media launch where we had people from Malaysian Insider and Malay Mail, reporters came for the launch, and then they wrote about us. So that's one way that we are trying to spread the word. But also, as far as gerrymandering is concerned, we're not alone in this. There are other NGOs working on the same issue. So, us Sekolah Aktivisme per se, we're not going to take on the whole of Malaysia, but we're not alone in this.
At least you're taking on Puchong first.
We're trying. We're doing what we can, and hoping that it'll make a difference. I mean, alongside, hand in hand with the other NGOs that are working on it.
So when it comes to youth activism, because you guys, 20 of you guys are youth, right? Am I missing the point?
Yes. Most of us.
Most of you guys.
Most of us are below the age of, 30.
So, I mean, Sekolah Aktivisme is, you guys, Sekolah Aktivisme, your focus, or at least the volunteers that constitute Sekolah Aktivisme, a majority the younger generation. And do you think young people really care about politics, or is this you guys? I don't want to sound stereotypical.
No, well, young people do care. Okay, when you say care, what do you mean? Are they aware? Yes, they know something's going wrong. Yeah, okay.
I guess they want to be part of the activism bandwagon.
I think we met a lot of people along the way who, who are interested and who feel like, I want to do something about this. And we have new members coming in all the time. I
Yeah.
think every week that we will see new faces recruited by one of us.
The thing is, because a lot of people don't know that they have an avenue or a platform to do something. So, because we're on social media, again, the youngsters are, a little bit more attracted because we're tweeting with our own Sekolah Aktivisme handle.
Yes.
We've got a Facebook page. Slowly we are attracting people because they are now learning that there's an avenue to do something about it.
Yeah, seems like you guys are taking a very active effort in promoting youth activism. But what exactly is youth activism?
For us, actually, when you say youth activism, it's actually just activism by young people. There's no, specific field called youth activism for us, at least. Because when you talk about activism, it requires some organization. You have to be systematic in everything. So it doesn't matter how old you are. If you venture into a specific campaign, it's the same thing. There's the same structure. You have to identify the causes. You have to identify the problem itself, and how you propose to deal with this problem. And of course, you have to identify your target audience as well. So I don't think it's right to say that youth activism is a field in itself.
I see. So it is not a full-time job.
No, it's not.
We all have paying jobs.
You can't be like, oh, my ambition is to be a youth activist or an activist.
No, I mean, if you're very, very ambitious and you have a really extensive bank account, why not? But no,
So
I mean,
activism doesn't pay. Do you think so? It should be a paid job?
no, it definitely not. It's definitely not supposed to be a paying job. See, the thing is about activism, at least the way I understand it, I cannot speak for the rest of the world, but it is about how you feel. If you feel that you've identified something is wrong, you feel that there's an issue, and you believe that this should not be the way, or ideally it should be different, then you champion the cause. You work towards trying to fix it. Lord knows you may not be able to achieve immediately. You won't see results overnight, but it's got to start somewhere. And if you believe in something, then you work towards it.
There's a reason why I asked about whether activism should be a paid job or not, because in Singapore, the civil society movement is very small, and actually it lacks financial support. The reason why it lacks financial support, because people who are part of the civil society see this as a volunteer, like a personal passion thingy, instead of like a real profession. While in certain countries, especially in more developed countries, activism is a full-time job. It's like, I'm doing this for the benefit of my country, for the benefit of my society. So, I should get paid like a professional lawyer or professional doctor, in that sense. But I'm just challenging your thought. Like, when it comes to, of course, for youth activism, this is something that you do because you do it out of passion and out of a certain aspiration. But what about people who are beyond just youth? Like, if they still want to be an activist, should they, just focus on activism as a real profession?
You can. Like you said, there are jobs which are, activist, in nature. But for me personally, when you talk about activism and, standing up for your rights and all that, it's really about personal satisfaction. This is what I believe in. I want to do it, and I'm not doing it for the money. So great lah, okay. That if we get money from it, that's great. That's
so I
fine.
guess the problem here is money is kind of like being seen as the evil thing. Like, if I'm doing something good, I shouldn't like be rewarded with money, or at least it shouldn't be in a monetary sort of incentive. It seems so.
I don't think
If
so.
you're volunteering for something,
Yeah.
being an activist usually involves you volunteering your time, your effort. And the word volunteer does not denote being paid. You know what I mean? Of course, we have, like, say, organizations, like civil society organizations that champion certain causes. And you have, say, staff working for you to run. Like Danny said earlier, everything has to be systematic. You cannot just say, oh, I have a cause and I'm going to scream and shout about it and hope that things will change, right? Everything has to be executed according to a system.
But I was a volunteer back then, like probably 5 or 6 years ago for for ASEAN, and I got paid. So it is a kind of a job in a way. It's a volunteer program for a humanitarian aid. Humanitarian aid for a disaster at that time happened in one of the country in Southeast Asia. So I'm just wondering, like, what is the nature of our today's activism, especially among youth or among adults? Like, should activism be considered something a more serious profession, or should it be something that is a volunteer thingy? Like, you do this out of passion, out of like you want to change the world. So
It's up to you, really. I mean, there are choices out there. Of course, you can go and volunteer. I think UN volunteers also, you get some remuneration. But, for the rest of us, we also have other jobs. I'm also passionate about my job. So, this is a part-time thing for me. I feel like, it's not enough what I'm doing. I feel I want to do more. So if you want to do activism part-time, go ahead. If you want to pursue it full-time, be my guest.
as long as you are doing something that
Exactly.
that is
Rather
beyond
than-
just yourself.
Exactly. Rather than just saying or complaining and not doing anything about it, or just, being a, what do you call that, keyboard warrior.
Keyboard warrior. That's the
Yeah.
in thing right now, isn't it?
Exactly. You see that all the time, but where are these people? You don't even see them.
Yeah. Any last words that you want to share with our listeners here on at least your work or your idea on?
Can we promote?
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
Okay. So we are planning to turun Padang in Puchong on the 26th of April. We will be working with another NGO as well on that day, and we just want to talk to people and tell them, okay, look, this is what gerrymandering is about. This is what you can do about it. We will help. We will facilitate and also work with this other NGO, I think that Malaysia actually. We will be at the IOI Mall in Puchong or the ASEAN Jasko Ikuin. Of course, look out for updates on our Facebook page. Facebook. Just search for Sekolah Aktivisme. And also information on Twitter, which is
At
Twitter handle
Sekolah
is-
Aktivisme.
Yeah, at
Without a E.
Sekolah Aktivisme, Sekolah Activism, because there's no E.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
And you, Sheelaa?
I mean, since we're promoting Puchong, right? So if anyone out there is voting in Puchong, if you are registered in Puchong, then feel free to come see us and tell us how
Don't
you
be scared.
feel.
You're not selling anything.
Oh, we're not. We're definitely not.
we don't have anything to sell.
So anyway, thank you guys for coming to
Thank
the
you for
studio,
having
and
us.
thank you everyone. We will continue for the next ABC dialogue on things that is about yourself, which is the global selfie phenomena. Thank you.